Hey, it's Chris. Thanks for stopping by. Today I continue my quest to build the ultimate adventure bike from this 2020 Husky 701 Enduro LR. Today I'll walk you through installing Oxford Heaterz Heated Grips. Unlike its bigger adventure bike cousins, the 701 does not come with heated grips. Oxford Heaterz have worked well on many bikes that I've had in the past, and so I'm confident they'll do a good job with this one. I'm using the premium adventure size grips, which are their largest grips. And when you take into account how big a pair of winter gloves are, they're the right size to do the job. And as part of this job, I'm gonna cut the grips down slightly to where the heating element ends. You'll see on the grip itself there is a line which will show you how far you can cut the grip down. That maximizes the heating potential of the grip. The one caveat, we'll share that with you right now, is if you're not experienced with using super glue as part of a grip installation, I would warn you that you'll probably want to get proper actual grip glue, which will be a little more forgiving, give you a little more time to get the grips spun into place exactly as you want them. Super glue, as you probably are already aware, is very liquid. It's watery. It will drip places you don't want it to drip. It will also dry up very, very quickly, which gives you very limited time to get things in place. Fair warning, so let's dig in and let's get this install done. All right, so without undoing any of this bundle, I was able to dig in there and find AC1 and AC2, and I'll show you that up close here. So there's those two. That's AC1 and AC2, as you can see. So the switched one we'll use for the heated grips. So they turn off when we turn off the key. The continuous power we'll use for USB, which we'll set up on the handlebars. Okay, so the next piece of this is to set up the wiring. There's connection for left and right, obviously, and of course you've got your keypad. I've gone ahead and connected a cable for my GPS. GPS draws less than 2 amps. The heated grips draw less than 5. I've got a 10 amp fuse on both of the accessory plug-ins behind the headlight, so I'm going to go ahead and use one of those for both the GPS and the heated grips. I'm now going to put flat connectors that will fit with these connectors for the ACC2. So first thing I'm going to do is cut them with side cutters so I can get at the connection. So here's a 16-14 gauge connector. So once I crimp them, then I'm going to cover them with shrink wrap, and then we'll be all set to connect everything up. I've just folded the grip Heaterz wires back and just tightened it up here like this so that it'll fit better through the back of the headlight. So right behind the headlight, if if you can see my finger there, there's an opening. We're going to use that opening to bring the wires through the back. The only trick is try not to snag it on any of these wires back here. So we're through. I'm going to be connecting it to ACC or accessory 2. When I turn off my key, the GPS is going to go to sleep and the grip heaters won't deplete my battery. Now we can hook it up. I'm not sure if you can notice, you have to be pretty careful. I've disconnected one of the indicator lights just in fiddling around with these wires, so just be careful of that. They're held on by friction, which makes them susceptible to dropping out if you're messing around in there. The other thing I'm going to do is add just a bit of dielectric grease to the connection. In this case, the grease that I use is a Loctite grease, but I know there's a variety of different choices. And on the accessory 2 connection, there's a black wire with a red stripe and a brown wire. So my thought is that I'm going to secure the wiring to the actual hard housing of the indicator switch, which in this case is a turn signal indicator. So you can see that zip tie goes in, around, grabs those wires. That'll give that connection stability so it doesn't move around. All right, we're done in here, so let's button it up. So that's all tucked in under the bars here. So all the wires for both heaters as well as the controller seem to be in good shape. I just need to add the little plate that's going to hold the controller. This is the perch that's included in the kit. It's really designed for something where the brake lever perch is, the bolts are facing upward, and obviously with the 701 these bolts are facing towards me, so I need to rig up something different. So what I just did was went to the hardware store, bought some aluminum flat bar, chopped a piece off, spray painted it with some basic hardware paint, drilled out the holes. I'm gonna just put it here in place, and I'm hoping it lines up just right. The thickness of the aluminum is not a problem after all. Those screws had lots of bite, and a washer in behind. I mean, it's not perfectly Sano as it would be if it was a factory kit, but I'm okay with it. These wires are tucked in pretty good. I'm gonna grab a key and just check it out and see if it works. There you have it. 100%. And the last piece I'm going to do before I button everything up is I'm going to add 2 RAM perches, one for my phone, one for the GPS, and then I'm going to hook up my GPS and make sure that that is getting power. So the perches that I'm going to use, which are very compact, are these Tackform RAM mounts. They're designed to go on the bars without a whole lot of U-bolts and things sticking out. Going to go with a thin spacer. All right, perfect. All right, looks like that'll work really nice for the GPS. Okay, so now that I've got the grips installed and I've got the GPS hooked up, you can see this is my setup. I've got my phone here, which I'm going to connect to my USB. I've got the GPS, which is hardwired into that same ACC2 connection, which I've also got powering the grips. So the GPS is going to turn off when I turn off my key, as will the grips. And as I did the install, the grip heaters, that automatic turn off function is not working on these. I don't know how common that issue is, but in this case, the controller thinks that the battery's low. The battery's not low, and that is a defect. But considering I've installed this and it's a switched power source, I'm not worried about draining my battery. So I'm going to leave it as is. The grips are going to work well on manual mode. How you do manual mode, it's just pressing both buttons and holding them for about 5 seconds until the little green light goes off. But basically, I'm comfortable with the setup. I typically route plan on the GPS. I use the phone for tracking, see where I've been, and also notify friends and family who are following my trip. My setup is pretty much ready to go here, so I'm gonna get to logging some miles. So if the install on the grips was helpful for you, smash the like button. If you'd like to follow along with everything else that I'm going to be doing to this 701, certainly hit subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.